Let's get started with ICCN White Glove Service. If you don't have an account, go ahead and create one for yourself. Don't forget to check your email for the final validation step. Okay, so let's log in and get going. First thing we're going to do is to create a new site. This is the actual location of your network. Let's use Lion Coffee in Del Mar, a great beach location to visit. I'll jump ahead so you don't need to watch me type. Now we can get on with the cool bit. Let's define our first virtual network. First, we'll define the network for the coffee shop employees. Let's call this first network Lion Staff. We could very easily integrate with the Radius server for user authentication, but for this site, we are going to use a simple password for the Wi-Fi. No need to create a schedule to restrict time of use, but we will use client isolation for security. Done. First network defined. Next up, the guest network. We can leave it open, or, like before, give it a password. Creating it really doesn't get any easier than this. But this time, I'm only going to allow the guest network to operate between 7 AM and 8 PM, which is when we're open for business. Lastly, I will enable client isolation for security. So that's two networks defined. So what about devices? Well, as you've seen, I have created two virtual networks, and now as I add devices, they will automatically connect and start to operate as defined, which is why this is called a software-defined LAN. Let's add one of our ICX10 access points. As it's zero-touch install, the AP will automatically contact the ICX cloud and register itself, checking for the correct firmware and start operating as defined. Let me fast forward a few minutes so you can see this AP is now online and operating with two virtual networks we just defined. We aren't kidding when we say you can get this up and running in minutes. Easily monitor who's connected to the Wi-Fi with drill down into individual users. Intuitive reports on network usage to monitor bandwidth, and alarms with email notifications to keep you up to speed if a device goes offline or reboots. This all makes running the ICCN White Glove service a breeze.